When I think about people that might be in love with me and I'm not in love with them, they're the ones who are going through the good feeling. To me, it's just I'm not feeling anything. So who's the lucky one? I think even in the first room, people like walk in and it looks like a candy store and they're all happy until they actually look at what's going on.
Yes.
And then to push it further, going into the pretty much the room of real self-portrait, then they realize how raw it is and how real it. And it's, you know, and some people said it was very emotional, which is good because that was part of my.
It's super emotional.
Yeah.
And what about how do you stitch those plastics together?
Some plastics are not very forgiving, or they have too much elasticity to them, so it kind of puckers. So it has to be a plastic that has like kind of like, I gauge it by the crinkling sound. It has like this crinkling sound, and if it doesn't have the crinkling sound, it has too much elastic, and then it gets caught up in the sewing machine. This I kind of figured out by taking things apart, buying an inflatable beach ball, and then seeing how it's divided. Started off with just circles. I started off with clouds, which were a bunch of circles together. That's how I kind of figured
like
it
the
out.
clouds on top of the You Like Everything About Me.
Yeah. It was just, I started off making circles and then just started taping them together, then cutting away what was on the inside. The aesthetic just kind of happened on its own. I don't know if I just completely planned it or what happened. Doing the banners, that spurred from a show that I was doing in Hollywood where they asked me to paint the gallery back to white when I was done, and I said, no way. I'm not doing all that work, and and afterwards have to paint it back to white. So I created the felt banners for that instead, because I was painting on walls. I was painting the backgrounds on walls. And the banners act as backdrops to the sculptures, but they're their own piece in them by themselves anyway. But I definitely relate to the character, and that's where the character comes from whatever I'm going through at that time. So the weirdo boy is the weirdo boy is actually a normal person that hangs out with somebody who makes him feel like a weirdo. Whenever you put somebody up on a pedestal, all of a sudden you seem like you don't act properly anymore, and you just feel like a weirdo all the time. Yeah, a love that's not returned, basically. Yeah, but somebody that likes everything about you except they don't want to be with you. With some of my stuff, I incorporate sign language. So what she's doing with her arms is not. She doesn't really supposed to have 3 arms. It's supposed to mimic the motion of somebody puking, and sign language is what they do. So in order to get that in the sculpture, I gave her 2 arms on one limb.
And then 1 slipper.
Huh?
And then 1 slipper?
I just thought it would be funny. I don't know how many times I've had 2 different socks on. The horse is, it's very symbolic of something that's very masculine, and being a male horse, it's a stud, and the way it's positioned in the sculpture, it's being very passive. And it's similar to the idea of the weirdo boy, where you're not acting the way you normally act because of the way you feel about somebody. Sometimes I make stuff without even realizing what it's saying, and hindsight is 20/20. Then I look back and I go, oh my God, I just realized what that piece was about.
That happens.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
With any piece in this show?
Not particularly right now, but I could tell you probably a year from now, oh my God, you know what that piece really means?
So what does maybe the cotton candy mean?
The cotton candy, the title of that piece is You Say I'm Not Sweet. It's reverting to what's going on with that relationship with that person that's not responding to me. I like using the material. I like the aesthetic of the piece when it's done. I like the response from the viewer. I think it's a good thing, especially with all the things about bags now. So the environment.
Yeah.
favorite pieces visually are the ones with the images in them, like the clown's face. And, I love everything I hate about you. It's funny because it's reminding me of the song. Who is it that does it? Oh, it's Lady Gaga, which I'm not really a big fan of. I heard an interview of hers, and one of the lines in her song is "I want your disease," and it's kind of like a similar feeling. Like you don't care. You're gonna accept everything about that person, no matter what it is you would normally hate about somebody else. And then the idea of puking the flowers, that I don't know what, I can't really articulate what that means, but I think the imagery is strong. It's like pulling everything out that's beautiful, but it's painful. You know, leaves a bad taste in your mouth. There's still something beautiful about the whole thing, even though you're in pain and you feel like puking all the time. It's like taking off the mask, or the happy face. I'm not faking a smile in the second row.